Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing. Big show coming your way tonight. The long weekend is over. Plenty of people got out fishing, and boy, did they catch some fish that might have had little golden tags in it. More of that news coming up in the show. Ads, it was a big weekend, let's just say, in Victoria.
A few people had a very successful long weekend by the look of my little bits of paper here, so good on them.
All will be revealed during the show. How many have come out of the water so far? How many are left?
And a good spread too. Or not just from the one spot.
No, absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
Trelly, the people of Shepparton, are they talking about golden tag? Because I think it took over the long weekend for a lot of people. A lot of people that travelled to Gippsland and to the northeastern region.
Yeah, I think we're probably on the fringe area of what's going on, so it's probably more.
So you don't give a shit.
So I was like, it's almost that. So, but certainly towards that. But there's a couple of catches in the northeast zone, which we'll talk about later on tonight. So very good. Some excellent results.
Yeah, very good. Nagambi's not too far away.
Nagambi's coming up in about 3.5 weeks' time, and the $80,000 Murray cod.
So a bit of talk would be going on about that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of research.
Have the people that are going to Nagambi entered the comp yet? Or is it one of those things like fishermen always do, last-minute entries or...?
Yeah, I think, I know this year a lot of people have actually joined up early because there's no accommodation left. Although there's a spare room at bedroom at my place. They've certainly piled on onto the entry forms and bits and pieces, so it's going to be a great event.
Yeah. The continued run of yellowtail kingfish occurred.
Yes.
On the weekend, about 100 boats in the Rip on Saturday. I know Sunday was pretty quiet because I was out there myself with 3 other boats, and
but
it was just blowing
full moon, a bit of a blow.
Blowing a gale out there.
How they go with the decorum, the social aspect with drifting with one another?
I don't know. I won't go anywhere near the joint in a kayak.
No, you wouldn't want to. Trelly, it's remarkable how people can switch on to a really good decorum when it comes to kingfish, but if they were snapper fishing or whiting fishing, they'd kill each other.
They do.
For being that close.
I hear it all the time.
Unbelievable how well behaved people have been on the kingfish. So,
because even with the tuna bite, there was a bit of contentious talk around how close some boats were getting. But I
and
suppose
at Portland, you've got to stay a kilometre away.
Yeah, but you can't afford to be. You can't afford to be like that in the Rip because it's such a fast, gnarly bit of water anyway. If you start trying to compete with everyone else and cutting people off, the chances are there'll be a pretty nasty accident because it's a bit harder to control it.
Yeah, that's all good. Folks, let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
And I tell you what, a really mixed bag tonight, guys.
It's a good sign. Good sign of a good long weekend.
Yeah, well, it's just all over the place, Catch of the Week. Photos from everyone. I guess that's representative. People went away for the long weekend and had a bit of fun throughout the state. So let's kick it off in Port Phillip Bay. Cade Thornhill. Have a look at this. A beautiful cuttlefish.
That's a good cuttle.
It's a decent size. Off Mornington.
Bait or food, Dave? Bait or food?
Your side, Eds?
Oh, bait. This time of year.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's so many whiting around.
Cool.
Yeah, I know, but there's so many whiting and they just love this stuff. So if you're only catching one, it's definitely a bait. Because you can turn... Well, I mean, I've had one cuttlefish that I got 2 whiting baits. Oh, no, sorry, I got enough bait to get 27 whiting out of.
And cuttlefish over squid?
And I took the rest of it down to the Rip and got a kingfish on it. So turn one cuttlefish into 27 whiting and a kingfish is not a bad reward for a bit of bait.
No garden worms.
No garden worms involved. No. All right, let's keep moving along. Another one in Port Phillip Bay, Sorrento. Sophia Kyriakou, I think. Good fish. Got that.
Yank flatty.
Good to see the kids out and about catching good sized flathead.
Yeah, look at that.
Or any fish.
Nearly as big as Sophia, look at that.
Yeah.
That photo.
Beautiful fish. Well done. young lady. Liam and Ash, they went out the western entrance and got a
Thresher.
beautiful Thresher shark.
Is that a big shark?
Well, it's a fair size.
That's a cracker, isn't it?
What a Thresher shark eat like?
Oh, as far as I haven't eaten one, but I've heard they're pretty good. I think all sharks are pretty good, except for sevengulars and whale sharks.
Whale sharks, maybe?
White pointers.
Nah, they're all right. No, well, I've heard they're real good. Threshers, that is, not the whites.
White pointers. Yeah, okay. Now, I've never tasted one. Let's have a
That
look
was
at
a
some
good
of
one,
the...
by the way. That was a
good
big
fish.
one.
That was a big fish.
That was a
yeah.
good
Great
fish,
yeah.
yeah. Let's head down to Port Welshpool now. Mason Grant, he got his first ever whiting. Have a look at that.
Oh, Meso.
Hey?
On you, Mason.
For life.
Yeah,
Look at that.
so good.
Hey, check him out. He's got the life jacket on. He's got a couple of fish in his
Couple of
hands.
whiting.
Loving life.
He's hooked.
Hey,
Let's head
Well
down to
done.
Portland. Like I said, spread all around the state. Chris Scott got a beautiful snapper. In fact, he got quite a few this day down at Portland.
Portland.
Yeah.
I know it's a great fishery down there.
Yeah.
You don't tend to hear much about their snapper fishing
No.
no.
down there.
Bad photo, Chris. Looks like a 10 centimetres long.
How
long was it?
It's a bit harsh. Bit harsh. It's the best one he got.
No. I'm just hanging on you, Chris.
Look at the diversity of where people got fish. Eildon Pondage is the next one. Aaron Bickers, a 3.5 pound brown trout.
That brown trout looks a little bit like a rainbow trout, I reckon.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just saying.
Yeah. Aaron Bickers. You make up that last name or what?
Why would you say that?
Who's got a last name Bickers?
Good fish out of the pondage, though. Straight to the smoker.
All right,
That
let's
is
go
it.
to Warburton, the Yarra River. The
Let's go
upper
to
reaches
Warburton.
of the Yarra River. Yeah, a lot of people go to Warburton. Don't know why, but Chris Doran,
That's definitely a brownie.
he got a brown trout at Warburton.
A wild fish? That'd be a wild fish?
Yeah, it would be, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Lake Jubilee is the next
Chris.
one, Trelly. I want to ask
Never
you
heard of
where
it.
that is. Jordan Path, he got a 32 centimetre redfin on the back of his old man's kayak.
Yep. See, that's
kayak, good man.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Good
So
man.
that- so that's a game
Where's
fish.
Lake Jubilee?
That's a game. That's a
That's a
game
game
fish. What are you doing, trolling for a
Inland
game fish?
Victoria, that's a game fish. That's like
No
a 32
way.
centimetre redfin. That's a game fish.
Yeah.
Not in Jordan, I'll tell you what.
I think Lake
You're up there,
Victoria's around Dalesford.
Lake Jubilee, even.
Oh, Lake, what did I say?
Victoria.
Oh, yeah, Lake
Gippsland.
Jubilee, I mean.
Yeah, it was good redfin.
Yeah. And lucky last, have a look at this one. First ever Murray cod
Lot
for
of firsts,
young
lot of firsts
Jack.
this week.
And he got this in the Goulburn River, nearly at the junction of the Murray River. Charlie, is it?
It's a lovely
Around a
part of the
Chuka or
world.
something, is it? Or-
Lovely part of the
Great
world.
photo. Young Jack is loving it.
Tell you what, if you want to go camping anywhere, get up there to that spot at the junction of the Goulburn River and the Murray River. It's a lovely part of the world.
Yeah, okay.
Well done.
What
Good
town
fish.
would you stay in if you're going there?
Probably a Chuka.
Would you?
Yeah, but it'd be more like camping out there, so yeah, it's a little bit out.
Yep. Very good. If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au. Go Pies!
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
And coming up next, fisheries news, including how many of the $10,000 golden tagged fish are left in the water. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See you down at Tackle World today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
See that?
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Like we said, big show coming away. We're about to tell you how many $10,000 golden tag fish have been caught.
absolutely.
And how many are left in the water very shortly. But first, have a look at this for a bit of other good news about the Gippsland area, and the headline is King Prawns stocked into lake tyres. Have a look at this.
Nice.
The Minister for Fishing and Boating, Jala Pulford, who is going to be on the show in about 7 weeks' time, said 15,000 wild caught prawns have been harvested off lake's entrance and released directly into the lake over the last week. Stocking prawns into lake tyres is part of the Labor government's Target 1 million plan to get more Victorians fishing more often. The timing of the stocking before Easter is great news for towns near East Gippsland that have been affected by recent bushfires and will help bring more fishers to the region. If that ain't going to send people down there...
And you haven't been golden tagged?
None of them being golden tagged. Right. Recreational fishing is worth an estimated $381 million per year and has generated 2,422 jobs for the local Gippsland economy. The stock prawns are large and ready to eat now. I've seen the videos. Mm-hmm. They are large prawns, I can tell you, boys. They're large, ready to eat now, so they're a great option for those wanting to enjoy a local seafood feast with family and friends in the upcoming holidays. To find out more about the Eastern King Prawns stocking into lake tyres, as well as tips on prawning for those who have never tried it, go to vfa.vic.gov.au/prawn stocking. I tell you what,
it's a good one.
They're big prawns. Like I'm talking
real
king
ones.
prawn. Big, large Eastern King prawns from the ocean.
How many to a kilo? Because I just calculated that out, right? I was just working that out.
Yep.
Right. All your calculations.
Yeah. Well, they're, I don't know, what are they, 100 grams or something?
Yeah, so that might mean like 600 kilos of prawns?
No.
6,
well,
000?
They put 15,000.
15,000.
15,000, right.
This is going to tie up 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Let's do it during the break. Let's work out.
I'll come back to it.
You want to know how many prawns they are?
Well, I just want to put it in perspective.
Okay, we'll put it in perspective.
Well, pump these numbers up.
15,000 wild caught prawns. They were harvested out to sea, right, which would normally be brought in, sold, wild Eastern King prawns in the ocean, transported live and put into... What?
Wild.
Yeah, they're wild.
Yep.
Well, usually they stock Eastern King prawns that have been bred in a farm in Queensland, but because of white spot, they are unable to do that. And that's why the government has gone back and said, well, it's an election commitment, we're going to deliver it, and they've got them from the ocean instead of a farm. So
it's good news.
These are good
15,000, I'll work that out in a minute.
What are you trying to work out?
No, 15,000 divided by like 30 prawns.
Let's do this during the break. You're going to tie up so much time. All right, this is another good news story for Gippsland. Have a look at the headline here. Bass stocking. Oh, no, you haven't got a headline here. You've got pictures. Bass stocking into Cann River. Let's have a look at the photos while we go through. The VFA is pumping up the bass again in Gippsland. This morning, which was last Friday, they stocked 27,500 late season Australian bass fingerlings into the Cann River, upstream of the township. Some of these bass have been in a very good paddock and were a great size. These fish complement 45,000 bass that were released in November last year. Aussie bass are an iconic sports fish which are booming in Gippsland lakes and rivers thanks to the record stockings in several recent years. So there you go. Plenty of bass down Cann River.
And they go, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They hammer.
Good.
Yeah.
They hammer your lures.
So many people just pass through Cann River. We should stop and have a go at the bass. All right, let's talk about the golden tagged fish. Now, last week we brought you the news that the first one had been caught by Ray Cooper.
Yeah, Big Raymond.
And the second one was by old mate, can't remember his name, but we announced that live on the show. So up until last Tuesday night,
hours after you announced it, wasn't
it? Yeah. All right, golden tag 3. We've got the photos as we talk through these. So a third person is taking home $10,000 for catching a tagged brim at Lake's entrance. There it is. The man wishes to remain anonymous, but we can reveal it was caught on Monday night in the Cunningham Arm. The golden tag competition is getting fishers back to bushfire-affected communities in Gippsland. There you go. Number 4, Trelly.
Yep, number 4.
This is a good story.
Congratulations to Norm. Now, Norm, who's caught the 4th tagged fish, worth $10,000 as part of the golden tag competition. Norm was fishing at Mitta River, which is on this side.
The Mitta?
Yeah, exactly. On this side of the Great Divide.
Yeah.
In northern Victoria, snagged the brown trout on his first cast yesterday. His first cast, like that's
big
mad, on a bunch of garden worms. So you don't have to be too exotic with your bait. Norm has a cabin on a Dartmouth and has been fishing the district for more than 40 years. And he loves the area, getting away from the rat race, which we all like to do. Norm plans to put the winnings towards a new car for his wife and top up his super. Well, she's probably not going to get a big car out of that. But so he's a
Beating up Datsun.
The old 180B.
Second hand from the 90s. Actually, they're probably worth a lot more. A fishing magazine stays across the fishing news, including what Target 1 Million is doing for inland fishing and better. Norm's best fish from the Minna River is a gigantic 14-pound trout, which is a cracker if you've ever been up there fishing. And he reckons this is his fourth. It's pretty special, obvious reason.
There you go.
There you go.
Ads?
Golden tag number 5. Number 5. So what a way to start the long weekend. Congratulations to Joseph Barbaro from Greensborough, who's winner number 5 in the Golden Tag competitions, taking home 10 grand. Good on you, Joseph. $10,000. Joseph caught this tag, 29 centimetre brim in Bem River on a piece of prawn while fishing with his good pal Des, who introduced him to the area 20 years ago. The duo were fishing from Des's tinny for less than an hour when Joseph landed the fish. Can you believe he lifted it straight into the boat without a net?
Oh, $10,000.
Yeah, would you be bleeding if you
I'd be
busted it off,
netting a
wouldn't you?
$10,000 fish.
Yeah, Joseph reckons
obviously
Bem's a fisher's paradise and visits with Des twice a year for a long weekend trip. Joseph's best fish here is a 43 centimetre brim, his personal best for the species. He plans to split the winnings 50-50 with Des, so he's a good mate.
Yeah, he is a good mate.
And he's going to put his share towards a trip to Central Australia with his wife and maybe a bit for the kids, maybe. Well done, Joseph. Thanks for visiting to support bushfire-affected communities who've been doing it tough over the summer. There you go. That's a good story.
They're all good stories. Number 6, you can see where we're heading because quite a few fish have been caught. The golden tag number 6 was from the northeast. A second tagged brown trout was caught in the Mitta River and earned the lucky fisher 10 grand. The first female to win 10 grand wishes to remain anonymous, but did tell us the fish took a green and gold selter in dirty water following recent rain. She'd caught a small brown trout a few casts before and couldn't believe her eyes when she saw the golden tag. This is like Willy Wonka stuff. On the second fish, running back to the car to share the good news with friends. The woman mostly fishes Lake Dartmouth and the Dartmouth Pondage, however, was visiting friends camping down the river for the long weekend, so threw in the spin gear. Good move indeed. Her winnings will go towards paying a few bills and a bit more fishing gear. She reckons a girl can never have too many lures.
Nice.
Tell you what.
But the selter's been around for like 100 years.
Yeah.
So it's a great lure.
The old faithful.
It's a great story. Number 7, Ads.
Now, another great story. A heartfelt congratulations to Brodie Cunnings from Malakuta, who landed this tagged 44 centimetre dusky flathead to win $10,000. Brodie moved to Malakuta over a year ago to live with her partner Will, only to have their house of 3 months lost to bushfire last summer, leaving them with just 2 cars and a boat. That's pretty insane. She snagged her flathead on a cast soft plastic lure with Will, who knows Malakuta Inlet like the back of his hand. Brodie caught the first fish of the day, and after 20 minutes at the next spot, landed the prize-winning flathead. Both kingfishers, Brodie and Will, plan to put their winnings towards a new house, which that's going to be a massive help to them after some devastating circumstances. Her biggest ever fish is from Malakuta only a month ago, a 69 centimetre dusky flathead off the jetty, so didn't even need a boat for the PB.
Yep.
But this smaller tagged flathead wins hands down, she reckons, saying the biggest isn't always the best.
And that's the thing about
So
like land-based fishing, you can still catch a $10,000 fish off land. Which is quite
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah. Golden tag number 8. Sorry if we're boring at home, but people have won 10 grand. It's pretty exciting. Barris Kikaiker's long weekend was made even better on Saturday when he landed a tagged brown trout worth 10 grand from Rocky Valley Reservoir near Falls Creek. Just in the middle of nowhere. He was fishing with his mate Rob on their annual trip to this area, trolling a pink Tassie devil. That's a cracking fish.
The pink Tassie.
As they passed some campers on the bank 15 minutes into the day, Barris's rod bent over with what he initially thought was a snag. However, the snag woke up and minutes later, in the gin clear waters of the reservoir, they spied a yellow tag. How good's that? The big brown trout was Barris's personal best by a country mile, dwarfing the 30 centimetre specimens he's familiar with. He loves his fishing, and he plans to spend his winnings on topping up his tackle box with lures and shouting Rob, his mate, a few things for his new boat. What a mate.
Well played.
Excellent.
Trelly, number 9.
Number 9. Now, Paul Cantrell caught up with Golden Tag organiser at the Orbost Show on Monday to verify the winning catch of a 37 centimetre tagged flathead from Malakuta. Oh, is that the photo?
That looks like a 3 metre flathead. I think at the show they may have had a cardboard cut out of a flathead, and
okay.
Maybe they just
so he was tagged
mightn't be the actual fish.
Yeah, so Paul's been a keen fishing for Kuta for more than 20 years. He loves the lake, beach fishing and swimming in a place that he reckons is home. So Paul visits Malakuta once a year at Christmas time and postponed his trip this year due to the bushfires. His prize-winning fish was caught from a 3 metre tinny he'd recently bought from Malakuta local for $200. Mate, you ripped him off. I'll tell you what. You took him for a ride. Anyway, the flathead took Paul's very last prawn of the day while drifting along late morning. So very congratulations, Paul. Paul noticed the tag was and pulled in on the last line. Phew.
Big time.
Yep.
Number 10, Dave. Does that mean?
It's all over Red Rover.
Yeah.
Well, for the 10,000.
For the 10,000 fish. The good news comes after this one.
Yeah, so
all these people are $10,000.
Another angler who wished to remain anonymous, Trelly, so we didn't get you to read this one out. It anchored at a new spot and quickly cast his first line in while organising the tinny. So this is a 33 centimetre brim from Bem River. Before he knew it, the reel was screaming and the tagged fish was brought aboard. The man has also been enjoying some great prawning at Bem, a place he's been visiting for more than a decade because of its pristine nature and wonderful variety of fish. The man said he'd postponed buying fishing gear at home to instead spend with regional shops that have been doing it tough over the summer. Wow. So well done, old mate, whoever you are. It's a good thing. He praised the Golden Tag concept, saying people at the pub and the boat ramp were commenting on how many fishers were in the area, all keen to help by staying overnight and spending locally with tourism-dependent small businesses. Yeah. So the masses are getting behind bushfire relief, Dave, and I know there was a lot of money donated over the course of this whole arrangement, but nothing will beat getting there, putting that money directly into the small businesses that are hurting and suffering because it's been a long
And a lot of these
summer.
people are saying that they've been there before and fished this area, but we want to encourage new people to these areas.
Yeah, well, that's it.
And book the weekends that aren't traditionally long weekends and things like that.
That's right.
I had a call from Ken the chef. You all know Ken the chef. And they had a golden tagged fish on the weekend. He walked into the Bem River pub that night. And he was
the bar.
Now him and his mate and 2 mates were number 13, so they don't get the 10. They get 2. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Walked into Bem River. They got a blackboard at Bem River pub, and it said 6 golden tag fish caught so far, 5 from Bem River. And he walked into the bar and he said, "You better make it 6." You know. But anyway, there's great stories around. The good news is there is. And I know we've got 10 winners, but there was actually more than 1,000 fish tagged. There was 1,003.
There you go.
And there is 993 fish left that are all worth $2,000. So
keep
nothing
fishing.
to sneeze at.
Keep fishing.
Every fish is worth $2,000. Think about the $10,000 one is you're only allowed to claim one.
Yep.
The $2,000 fish, you're allowed to claim as many as you want.
Oh, as many.
Oh, there you go.
And there's 993 fish out there.
So if you're lucky, you catch 2 or 3.
Absolutely, big trip to Bem, or none caught from Lake Tyers yet. There's plenty caught. There's plenty in Lake Tyers. So there you go.
Heaps.
Plenty of fish out there.
Well done.
Coming up next, product of the week. We'll show you a new reel on the market for kings and tuna. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Now, we have recently seen the biggest run of bluefin tuna in our local waters that we've seen for quite a long time. And what's that?
The
Oh, the
people
date.
on the other side of the glass are saying we've got to
so
put
it's
the
not
date up.
it's not a repeat. Good tuna, which have been replaced by Kingfish, and it's no better time to show you a brand new light game fishing reel on the market, the Speedmaster 2-speed. So, listen, without getting all nitty-gritty and telling you all about them, because it won't make too much sense, there's a couple of features which are insane.
Tell me about it.
Insane. One-piece Hagani body.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean?
That means less distortion, more power.
That's right, because they pull 18 and 20 kilos of drag. So there's 4 sizes in the range, a 12 and a 16.
18 and 20 kilos.
That's right. So the 2 small reels, the 12 and the 16. So this is the 12 that I've got in my hand here. Now, Dave, you gave this a bit of a test run on the weekend.
Drifting at 35 knots through the heads.
Yeah,
and
so they
struggling to get baits down. But anyway, that will be the real deal.
Yeah, so the cranking power
Absolutely.
come in handy. Now, that small reel pulls 18 kilos of drag.
Catch a whiting.
Just a couple.
That will handle any kingfish that you could put on the end of that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And the 2 bigger models, which are probably going to be used more for kingfish and marlin, that sort of thing, they pull 20 kilos of drag. Now, these reels are not only designed specifically for braid, but you also get another one of these. So they're a lever drag reel, and this is where things have changed, because changing a drag cam in an overhead reel is not anything new, but changing the whole lever is. So the mechanism to control the drag curve is actually all built in to the actual handle
lever.
that you see there. So it's as simple as popping the reel into free spool, taking the cam cover off, and replacing the lever, and it changes the drag curve, which means when you're fishing braid, obviously it's a hell of a lot stronger than mono. So for every click of that drag, you are increasing the drag pressure more than what you would with the mono cam in. So if you still want to fish a light line class marlin tournament or game tournament, and you want to spool one of these reels with 10 kilo, 15 kilo, you can do that, no worries at all. Pop in the mono cam and you don't have to worry about...
What do you call that? Power Pete?
What's a power Pete?
Oh, your mono drag thing.
I don't know.
Oh, let's call it that for now.
All right,
Power Pete.
Power Pete. So Power Pete and Power Pro. So yeah, that's the monocam, which can be changed very easily depending on how you want to use the reel. So listen, these pack enormous amounts of punch, and they are the smaller and I guess younger brother of the Talica, which has been out for quite a long time.
Same gearing and everything
Same,
as the Talica?
same gearing as the Talica. They do have a heat dissipation drag in them as well, because obviously anything that's going to pull 18 and 20 kilos of drag is going to heat up, and the last thing you want is extra drag at the worst time. So yeah, they're quicker. They're basically a small Talica, and they are literally half the price.
Yeah. Now, we should point out the 12 and the 16 aren't available quite yet.
No, so first shipment flew out the door. They're not due in the country again until May, but the 20s and 25s are here and ready to go.
There is one 12 available. It's got a bit of salt on it, though.
Yeah, that's right. Though they do have the cam to change over to mono, listen, I think to get the most out of them and to get the best out of them, it's worth spooling with braid.
Yep.
So the small one, Dave, you've spooled that fully with braid, which I think is definitely the way to go. The bigger reel in the bigger reels in the 20 and 25, a little bit of braid underneath, top shot that with 100 metres of mono, and that now becomes the most all-purpose game fishing reel. Take it anywhere in the country, anything from kingfish to marlin, these reels will do it, and some. 2-speed function, so if you get that big fish, like a big yellowfin or something that wants to play dirty,
Pretty important.
and starts doing circle work at 80 metres of water, you can just inch it up a little bit. But that's the Speedmaster. Exciting, and I think this is going to get a few more people back into the overhead market, Dave.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So it's a bit of a situation where you're on the boat and you're like fighting and fighting and fighting, and you go, I've had enough. You give it to your mate and you put on the...
Crank the drag. Straight to sunset.
Pulls him overboard.
Watch him fall over.
They've got guts.
That's right.
There's no doubt.
And I guess another important feature that I did forget, they do have Shimano's highest grade of saltwater guard, which is Core Protect, which being an offshore saltwater reel, you would expect that, but it is all there. Nothing can go wrong, and they pack an absolute punch.
Magnificent. Thank you very much.
Really nice reel.
Knock over a cod, I reckon.
Yeah, cod, no chance.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, they might burn a
Braid
few
can.
discs.
Yeah, the braid can.
Yeah.
Trelly, you brought in some of your own products tonight.
Absolutely. Now, product of the week couldn't be.
I couldn't understand what you were talking about last week.
Well, what we do, I was talking at the bar downstairs,
Yeah.
and we were discussing products.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know, being a fisherman, us people, we're talking about tuna. Don't worry about the brand. And we're talking use-by dates and bits and pieces. So my thoughts, I've been over this for a long time. I've spoken to many people. Here we have, right, I'm going to go through it. Here we have Funky Monkey salt, right? And it says here, it's Himalayan salt from an ancient sea. Now, I don't know where the Himalayas and the sea meet, but anyway, I think it's a long way apart. But here we go. We got
Maybe during the Ice Age. That'd be that old, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the Ark and
what,
stuff
30,000 years old, that salt?
I reckon 30,000 years old. So we've got some salt here. It's like 30,000 years old, and it's got a use-by date of 2 years. So I don't know how you get
That's
salt.
going to make a difference.
Exactly, 2 years. Once you open it up, it's 2 years. Now here we have a can of tuna, right?
Yeah.
That has no use-by date on it. Like no use-by date on a can of tuna. You look over it, go to your supermarket, pick up a can of tuna, have a bit of a look, no use-by date. So this will last for what, 10, 20, 50, 100 years?
Yeah.
And this 30,000-year-old salt
It's only going to last another 2.
2 years. I thought it was worth mentioning.
Doesn't make much sense to
The
me.
guys downstairs thought it was pretty funny, but anyway, that's my little bit to the product of the week.
And that tuna was hand caught.
Yeah,
or
well,
something.
Was it?
on the side there, caught by hand, one fish at a time.
One fish at a time?
Yeah, no paternoster rigs were harmed in the catching of that tin of tuna.
No squid, no nothing.
Yep.
No
just
use-by
one
date.
pole.
I wonder
and
if anyone
line
at
caught.
home knows whether just tuna keep forever in a can.
What do they put in it to make it last forever? That's what
Oh, I don't know, but Funky Monkey is going to run out.
It's definitely not Himalayan rock salt.
Well, that rock salt's virtually going to be 30,002 years old, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
And
There you go.
Then it's done.
All right, coming up next, Kramer's mailbag and plenty more next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing. Every day's a chance to drift away.
Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. A couple of mailbags here, guys. Old mate wrote in.
Wants to remain anonymous?
I just didn't write down his name.
Oh.
Old mate wrote in and he goes, what are these? So we've got a photo of what are these. Have a look at this. Oh, that's pretty ancient looking type thing. That's the body of it, I guess. And let's have a look at the next photo. Yeah, going well. Next photo, maybe. Hello? Yep, there you go.
Oh,
What do you reckon?
they're like mackerel. They catch mackerel with them. They're a plug style lure. Mackerel and
tuna jigs?
Tuna plugs.
Tuna jigs.
Tell you what, you're pretty good.
Tuna plug.
Now, if you want to know some information that's absolutely useless and old stuff, who would you ask?
Ivor from Gillies.
No.
Pat Levy. He's old
No.
too.
Third guess, Worsling.
Who's Donny?
Oh, yeah, Peter.
Worsling knows everything.
Oh, yeah.
He knows everything, right? So he writes back, very old wooden tuna salmon lures, known as Smith's jigs.
Oh, yeah.
Halco still do one. So
They do.
Now, I don't know whether Halco made those or not, the old timber ones back in the 30s, but they, remember when I came back from Fiji last year, I bought a heap and sent them
right.
back to Fiji. It was Smith's jigs.
White
They're just a
plastic
white
they are
plastic
now.
thing with that same hook. But how's this? This is Worsling and his memory.
Yeah.
And the hooks look like a 10-0 mustard 8260D. D is for Duratin steel,
There you go.
Straight shanked, big eye.
which
It looks like a big
when you
O'Shaughnessy style.
when you look
Something
at
used for cod fishing.
when you look at Duratin steel, it says that it rusts away quicker than stainless steel, but it's quite
there
tough.
you go. Environmentally
So
friendly.
it's friendly, even though it's attached to a bit of wood.
Like quicker,
Driftwood.
like 10 years.
Driftwood.
The,
Dollies love it.
No, the big tuna snaps the line, the hook goes away,
There
the
you go.
timber sticks in its eye. So there you go.
Fine.
That's what it is. Old mate, whoever wrote that in. This one's from Lee. Lee writes in, I attended the Mornington Council presentation on the proposed redevelopment of the Hastings boat ramp last Thursday and was quite disappointed.
Riveted.
Ooh.
Yep, that too. Their last development at Rye was substandard with the use of piers instead of the far superior pontoon-type landings, saving money and doing the bare minimum. The Hastings project is much needed maintenance, with the only development being the lengthening of the ramp to improve low water launching, which is excellent. I think they need a nudge to build a southern pontoon landing now. The engineers talked as if this was still possible. The ramps will be closed over the winter for several months. They should not be closing the ramps again in a couple of years to do this development, which is necessary for the 4 ramps to work efficiently. Below is the email I sent to council, which I haven't got, but all the best from Lee. Now, there's a couple of things with this. Rye, they're spot on. So when the tide's up and down, you've got to climb down a ladder to get to your boat and that. Now, Hastings, I would argue, is a lot more tidal. Mm-hmm. It should be floating pontoons.
So why wouldn't they use floating pontoons?
Well, they haven't even proposed to do the one on the right-hand side. All they're saying is they're going to lengthen the ramps. Why wouldn't they, while they're there, while they've got the boat ramps closed, why wouldn't they build a second pontoon that's floating?
Which lends itself perfectly to somewhere crazy tidal like that.
And what Lee is saying is that this council don't have a great track record because they do it the cheap way and the easy way.
Yeah, so there's your
and if they do it, they'll probably put a pier in instead of floating pontoons. So
rather than the logical way.
my concern with this, and they did have a very Better Boating Victoria had a stall there, and the council were there, and that at the Western Port Whiting Challenge, but they've only got a matter of weeks to have this design ready to go, shovel ready, because if they start any later than, if they get into July, August, this is exactly what happened with Rye. They were still building Rye in December. Missed the whole snapper season, got into the summer period, and I tell you what, this has got disaster written all over
So
it.
why has it been left so late? Surely you'd prefer to get it right.
Well, if you ask old Don, they've redesigned it 7 times, and then every second time the person has moved on in that job, so the new person takes over and goes back to design 1, and then they start again. It's bureaucracy gone mad down there, and I've got real concerns that Hastings is even going to be delivered, to be honest. Let alone with
Lee
what?
Is that Lee Anonymous?
No, that was Lee Anonymous, So thanks for that, Lee. We had old mate, he wrote to us a while back, Simon, talking about Aura Vale Lake as a recreational fishery. We've had a response from fisheries. This is from Anthony Forster.
He's been on the show.
Yep. He goes, "Hi Simon, thanks for your email suggesting the VFA develop Aura Vale Lake as a recreational fishery. We've done some early assessment on this waterway and spoken to the relevant land and waterway managers for new waters proposed for stocking. We undertake a fish stocking risk assessment to identify and manage risks to existing and connected native fish populations from stocking, i.e. the spread of fish disease, predator pressure of threatened species, etc. I'm pleased to advise we are currently preparing a risk assessment for stocking fish at Aura Vale Lake. The risk assessment will be provided to an independent translocation evaluation panel for advice in the near future. Once we have this information and advice, we'll discuss it with representative recreational anglers at the next Vic Fish Stock Forum in Melbourne to be held in May this year. I'll keep you informed of progress. Thanks again for your suggestion. You're not alone in promoting this water as a potentially exciting new recreational fishery. So thanks, Anthony. That's good news.
Good one.
This one in the mail, boys.
This is the old. Dropped it off this morning, did?
This is the old snail mail into the. And look.
Yeah, we've got a couple of nasty ones of them.
I know. Yeah, that's why I read this one before. I didn't remember the last one.
Yeah, that was a cracker.
They want to kill us.
Quite a few swear words in the last one. This guy's saving on paper. He's doing the right thing by the environment, not supporting the logging industry.
Fair enough.
Probably did.
Yeah, maybe you didn't put your finger through it.
This is from George. G'day guys, watch your show weekly. Good stuff. What I'm wondering is could you put up a list of the lakes and reservoirs that are now allowing you to use with electric motors on small tinnies? Or could you tell me where I could get a list from? Thanks from George. Well,
don't give him a website if he's handwritten and sent that in.
No, I'll type it on the typewriter tonight. No, I don't know if there's a list that exists. I think...
Isn't there? Should be.
Most of them you can.
No, not the new lakes. You know, they were going to do like Kyneton Lake and Upper Coloburn. There's still issues with, you know, all the...
Smoking ceremonies stuff.
Well,
Coloburn you can, can't you?
There's all that sort of stuff and a bit of environmental stuff. Coloburn, I doubt it. I mean, they're
on board, aren't they? Well, they go. You only got to carry it 300 yards. No,
through 2 posts that are out wide.
They moved the boulder out of the way, didn't they?
No, I don't think they've moved the boulder yet. I'm not sure.
Great question.
That's a great question, George. And what we'll do is, I think we have Travis Dowling on in 4 weeks' time.
Travis Pyle.
That is definitely on the Travis Pyle. There you go. By the way,
Jarlo won't want it.
It's the 10th of March. Right, we forgot to do the date.
Oh, righto.
Well, you don't want to.
Today's the 10th of March.
Not a repeat.
No, not a repeat today. So that's it. If you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Now, Trelly, last week we received a month of rain in one night in Melbourne. Don't know whether you got that up in Shepparton. It come from that cyclone up.
Yeah,
went through Queensland, New South Wales. What has that done to the Murray-Darling system? You know, is there a lot of water up there that's going to come down?
Did you get that rain?
Yeah, we got about 120 mils in Shepparton.
Well, that's a fair bit.
It was widespread, but it was a little bit. Actually, the best part about it was everyone got rain.
Yeah.
Whether it be a little bit or a long bit, but if I can say a long bit. But even driving down to Melbourne, the paddocks and the properties are greener this week. It's just amazing. And as far as the Murray-Darling Basin area, you know, we've had some fantastic falls of rain. You know, northern New South Wales is coming down. You know, because we're talking about the cod and the fish kills at Menindee and all those little places. We've got a lot of water coming down those areas, which is fantastic.
So Menindee Lakes, is it? That virtually went dry?
Virtually went dry.
Are they filling up now?
The water's. I'll get it wrong.
Yeah.
But I believe it's just about to hit there. So we've got 1.5 metres to 2 metres coming down there.
Oh wow!
And we've got a few other tributaries which is adding to that volume, which is coming in.
Yeah.
I believe the first flush coming through is very clear, and then it's sort of dirtying up as it goes along. But I mean, anything like that as far as oxygen levels in the water and the flow itself, the volume of flow itself has been really, really good. And a lot of these places are like, you know, lakes that are in the middle of nowhere that don't actually flow into the river.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're up there and you're a traveller and you go up to those sort of areas, you know, a property owner bits and pieces, the yabbies are going to go mad. The yabbies are going to go absolutely crazy.
What are they living in the mud at the moment or something?
They do, yeah. They get down there like the frogs and everything else, because we were talking about today. We're talking about frogs and the little lagoon or a little backwater or property with a few dead trees, and it comes up, and the frogs are just deafening at the moment where they've got water. So it's a fantastic thing. So we hope to see some really good flushes down the Darling River and those areas, which will bring back life to all those and rejuvenate all those cod that are still in there. Because they were a bit afraid about having a bit of a low flow, a bit of a slow one, which could add to the problem. But this large flow that's coming down is fantastic. It's really, really good.
There you go. Got to get to a break. Coming up next, the all-important hotspots, straight after these messages.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots. Get on 'em, it's where the fish are.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing. Just before we get into the hotspots, I've got a little message here. You can put kayaks and canoes on Malmesbury, Upper Coloburn, Lauriston and Barker's reservoirs. Proper boat ramps to launch tinnies will be in place at Barker's Res and Upper Collaburn by July 1 this year. You can launch tinnies at all those lakes now with an electric. You just have to dodge the big rocks. So there you go.
Okay, so start.
Yeah.
That's it.
There you go.
What with kayaks?
Hey.
Hey.
Well,
You're
people want to
always
get out.
allowed
People
on
want to, but people want to get out there with their electric motors, and I wasn't 100% sure. I'm not sure it's advertised that well that you can
Yeah.
take your boat on with an electric motor.
Yeah.
And so you should. That was the commitment. So, all right, let's get into the hotspots, the all-important hotspots now. We've got a magnificent run of weather right now.
Yep.
A beautiful day today,
Exactly.
beautiful day for the next couple of days.
Yep.
I think a big storm's coming through Friday night.
Just for something
So
different.
let's start
Just in time
off
for the weekend,
hotspots.
Charlie.
The first 4 hotspots are all land-based.
Nice.
Because I don't think it's going to be a great weekend for being out in the boat. But the first one is Cunningham Pier in Geelong.
Very.
Chris from your
Popular.
shop in Geelong,
Exactly.
Charlie, is saying the salmon bust-ups near the pier are unbelievable at the
Yeah,
moment.
they've been really good. I've been catching a lot of fish off the pier, pinkies and the salmon.
It's size pinkies, you
Size
said too.
pinkies, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, and again, you don't need a boat.
No.
It's land-based. Fantastic.
So Cunningham Pier, number 1 for this week. The all-important one on the southern or the eastern side of the bay is the Mornington Pier. Adds plenty of calamari.
The
around.
home of land-based calamari, I'd say. Small jig's important on a drop shot rig, so basically sink it down the bottom.
Yep.
Tiny little dropper with a size 1.8
How far off the
jig.
bottom is your jig?
30 centimetres.
Yep.
Yep, just keep it fairly close to the bottom. They're only fairly smallish squid there, but when they're on, you can get 10 and 12 casts.
One of those
Yeah.
little squirt jigs?
Yep.
Even I could.
perfect.
Black or white. Even you could. 100%. Only if they're real going though.
All right, I was trying to find 2 good land-based spots.
I want
In
no part of the next
Western
one. No part of it.
Can we flash it up on the screen and then
No.
not tell anyone?
No.
And then just hide it again?
You'll get a complaint.
No comment.
Well, they say it's
Brian?
good.
It
No,
wasn't me.
it wasn't about Brian. Brian.
You yobbos.
No, it
Have a
wasn't.
look
It
at
wasn't. It wasn't
Okay, here we go.
him.
Turret and Ludric. Okay, move on to the next one. Take it down. Take it down. Take that down. I'll let it tell
It
you.
wasn't me, Brian. I
Turn it.
resisted it.
Was it Turretin? Ludric?
Yep.
Get out. I haven't seen Ludric on the hot spots.
No, didn't happen. Number 4 was the Flinders Pier.
It's Turretin backwards.
Flinders Pier calamari.
What do we got? Flinders Pier. Calamari.
Yeah, Flinders Pier
Paying
calamari
attention.
is number 4. There you go. All land-based spots for this weekend.
That pier
That's
is
genuine.
great to fish with bait. So silver whiting under a float,
Yep.
12-foot surf rod, get a bit of distance. Biggest
Scrubby
calamari
worm.
land-based in
No
Victoria.
scrub worms.
Scrubby one. No,
That-
scrubby one.
not scrubbies.
Not for calamari, Charlie.
What spot?
You can try if you like.
What spot?
You won't be sitting there for a while though.
Yeah. All right, tell us about this one, Charlie. Number 5, Nagambie, cod and yellow belly.
You fish out land-based?
The Gambie's been fishing really good. I mean, but we have had like the month before for freshwater. We've had the month before Easter fishing.
Yep.
Which is a fantastic time for inland fishing. But a lot of guys are going down there and
Practicing.
tuning their skills for the $80,000
Pre-fish.
the $80,000 Murray cod. So and $500,000 worth of prizes coming up in about a month's
Wow.
time. So yeah, so Nagambie's a bit of a hot spot, mate. Get down there and practice
Land-based? So I read something
Yeah,
about land-based in
absolutely.
your report.
Yeah, well,
last
the
week.
yellow belly was caught last year. It was a young chap who went down there and decided to put his entry fee in last minute. Went down the back of the house, put a scrubby worm over the back, caught himself a yellowbelly. Thought, oh, this is a cracker. I'll put it in $20,000 later.
Wow.
It's just mad, yeah.
Yeah.
Land-based, absolutely.
There you go. And lucky last, heading to the east of the state, it certainly has been the capital
gotta be banned.
of the golden tag fish. And like we said earlier in the show, every fish now that's caught with the winner tag on is worth $2,000 to every angler. Bem River, the Flathead and the Brim are going off. So
And
there
how many
you go.
thousands of fish are left are tagged?
993 fish are
Thousand.
left in the systems.
Worth
Yeah.
$2,000 a pop.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
990. Sorry
Yeah.
about 1,000 bit, but
Yeah.
990.
Funded by Bushfire Recovery, so it's a great initiative by the state government.
Yep.
And it's getting people up there. I mean, like I said, Ken the chef, now he said he got some nice estuary perch.
Oh, that's good.
On the weekend as well. So
So he's up the river. I'm
I've never
guessing.
fished
He was
there. You
fishing-
fished there?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's my all-time favourite place.
yeah,
I dare say the perch would have come from up the river. Flatties down the front, the entrance.
probably yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good
Where do you
place.
stay when you go to Bem River?
Basically everywhere. I've stayed just about everywhere there. But go and see Mark Cunningham just at the general store there. He's got some beautiful cabins. Or he also collects all the fresh and live bait there, so all your prawns. And
Oh, really? So you can go and get live bait?
Not so much live. You've got to catch him at the right time for live bait because he'll normally do a lot of his prawn and through the night.
Great local contact.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Wouldn't go anywhere else.
Is it the sort of place where you can pump nippers and stuff like that as well? Or there's sand flats, or is it?
No, not really. Only because you find the levels of the lake aren't. So generally you'll need a bit of tide or a bit of movement so you can access those flats. So you don't get too much of it. It tends to stay closed majority of the year. But if you did want to go and do a bit of prawning, you're better off going down to the entrance and walking the flats across there. And you can still
even if it's closed, there's still prawns there. And
Well, I was just working out the kilos before.
Have you done that exercise yet?
Well, I did. It was like
you
didn't. You
forgot about it, didn't you?
No, I did.
During the break, you got another stubby, and you forgot all about your calculation that you were going to do.
It was like 500 kilos they've put back into the system. So I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot of prawns.
That's
a lot of kilos.
And they breed prolifically. Is that a word? So
no, well, they don't really. I think they breed.
Just made that up.
They breed out in the ocean.
Let's roll along with it.
They breed out in the ocean, and the
offspring.
I don't know what the name is for it.
Little ones.
The baby ones go into the lake,
baby ones,
and they grow and all that sort of stuff. But there's none of that because the lake's been shut for 4 years. That's why.
So I fit the word for multiple baby prawns.
What?
Well, you said young ones.
Little ones.
Yeah, it could be something better than that.
Yeah. Spat or something? Or
spat?
It's like a murder of crows, isn't it? It's like it's all that sort of
conglomerate.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. We've got to stop talking rubbish. That's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, a couple of special guests join us in the studio from the Victorian Fisheries Authority. A must-watch program next week. It will be special. Until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.